good. What is your name?
Larry Shapiro.
And where are you from, Larry?
Ben Salem, Pennsylvania.
You came all the way to Washington DC for this protest
Yes, I
from
did.
Pennsylvania.
Yes, I did.
What happened to you, Larry?
I haven't seen my daughter in over a year because
Could
my
someone
wife
turn
has
this on?
brainwashed her.
Aha. Good
That I don't love her
afternoon.
anymore. And I only see my son
Welcome
one day a week.
to Parents March 1998. My name is Mark Pendergrass. I'm going to be one of the speakers in a little bit.
Yes,
In
it
the
is.
interest of
That's
time,
just
I
because
think
of
we
family
should
court.
get going. We have a lot of speakers.
It's common.
I'll certainly try to do it without crying this time.
Yes, ma'am. What is your name and where are you from?
Mary Gaffinet. I'm from Westchester, Ohio.
You're from Ohio. And what are you doing here in Washington, D.C. today?
I'm protesting
For those of you
children's
who were at the press
services.
club this morning,
What happened to Children's Services?
They took my children.
before I
They
begin
took
today,
three of my
I
children,
hope you'll indulge me
and
for a
they
moment. I'd like
they
to take
took
a
my
moment to
children.
acknowledge
They
a
just
few
walked
people.
out of the house with my
Without their
children,
energetic and
and
vigorous
they never
assistance, I
accused
wouldn't be
me of
speaking
any
before you today.
wrongdoings. They said I did nothing
I can't
wrong.
possibly list them
They-
all.
They actually said that.
And I
They
hope I
still
don't
took the
offend any
children
that I leave
away.
out.
Yes, they took permanent
The short
custody of the
list
children.
is
They were in
Alicia's
excellent
therapist,
health, well
Kathleen
taken care
Goodfriend,
of, and
Social worker
and they're,
Diane Anderson,
they're just
juvenile
saying they
court
don't know
judge
what else
Christine
to do. They
Pate,
never accused
County
me of
Attorney
any
E.
wrongdoings.
Jane
They
Via,
never said that I pulled
San
my little
Diego
girl's
Detective
hair.
Bill
They never said I
Montejano,
spanked my son on the
Alicia's
back.
foster mother,
They
Carla
said I
Gregory,
did no wrongdoings.
San
They
Diego
took permanent
Department of
custody
Child
of the
Protective
children.
Services,
And what did your
and
lawyer
San
do
Diego
for
County
you?
Juvenile
He
Justice
did absolutely
System.
nothing.
Numerous
Did you have a
attorneys,
free lawyer?
all of
I
whom
had
did their
a
best to destroy
court-appointed
my
attorney,
family.
and he
through what amounted
simply
to a
just did
legal
what
kidnapping
made me do whatever
to steal my
Children's
daughter.
Services told him to do.
I must also truly thank Carol Hopkins
So that's the end of it. So you're just, they
and the
government just
1991
simply
San Diego
kidnapped
County
your
Grand
children.
Jury.
They just
Jim
came in and
Oklahoma
just
with the San
snatched
Diego
them out of my
Union
home.
Tribune,
And these are your children. And
Dr.
are
Edward
they
Blake
living in the state
the
of
Somewhere
Ohio?
Labs in
They're
Southern
living in the
California
state of Ohio.
for his mastery of the fledgling
Roger
science
is
of
now
DNA, which ultimately
15.
excluded
Mark
me
is
from the
now
list of
12.
people
Julie
who
is
could have
now 5 years
participated in this
old.
contemptible act.
And they cut off all
Attorneys Mike
visitation
McGlynn and Steve
last
Carello, who together
April.
drove this pack of rabid
And they
wolves
have a no
back into the
contact
dark
order,
recesses of
and
their lair.
if I go near
Finally, Attorney
them,
Milt Sullivan,
I will go
who
to
armed
jail.
only with
You
a
have
sharp
very
stick and
beautiful
his wink on
children.
his
Could
eye,
it be the
stormed
government
into
is
their lair,
making a
brought
lot
them to
of
their
money
knees,
off of these children?
and returned carrying not only
That's
their
why they
pelts,
took them.
but
It's
our
for the
tattered
federal
honor.
funding. They're required
Wall
to
Street announced
provide
last week
reasonable
that
efforts to keep
Microsoft
the
had
children
finally
in the
eclipsed
home,
General Electric
or
as the
to
most
return the
prosperous
children to
business
the
in
home as soon
America.
as possible,
I would
or to
dispute
place them
that
with
assertion.
relatives in order to get
I'm
federal
certain
funding
that
for
the
foster
fastest
care.
and
They've
most
done
prosperous
none of them.
growing business in
But yet
America
they
today
snatched the
is the
kid,
child
and they're
abuse industry.
getting
The
foster
child
care
abuse industry
funding.
has, by raising
Thank you for talking
and
to me.
raising and
Thank you.
raising, an operation that she would have to endure alone because we weren't allowed to be there for her. These are indeed compassionate people. We were dumped into the juvenile justice system, and that's when things... Only system. This ludicrous system was bent on destroying our family, and they very nearly succeeded. They, and by they I mean social workers, the lawyers on both sides, and the judges. All of these supposedly autonomous entities operate in concert on an assembly line basis. Once the defects have been identified, and by the way, the parents are always the defective part, then the system has a method of repairing or disposing of the family. They work on a fix or destroy basis. Effective also. Nonetheless, which we discovered later, to neglect, which we discovered later is the same as pleading guilty. It will put you even further behind the 8 ball than you are already, and the court is running out of patience and time to be able to return her to you at all. The judge in the case told us that our presence was preventing Alicia from revealing reality after all. How terrible for her. It would be over 2 years before I would see her again.
4 appeals going on. 4 appeals. Good.
On May 1st, 1990, our social worker, now Kasha Siebert, told us at the juvenile court building that Alicia had been complaining to her that Kathleen Goodfriend, her therapist, and by the way, I don't know if anybody's noticed, but the way you spell therapist is the rapist.
6.5 for her.
That's just something I found after my dealings with Goodfriend. I noticed that. And in the event, she said that without a doubt, Alicia would now be adopted by the Gregories and that we would never see her again.
now these other counties
When I
are
add
getting more and more.
Can I see
everything
that,
they
please?
do to a family is covered in the secrecy clause, and anyone who seeks to breach this wall is told that the secrecy is there to protect the child,
Oh, Bucks
and that everything
County
they
did
do
an
is for
article on
force,
you.
Yeah.
in the best interest
And
of
with
the
all the
child.
articles, you still can't get your
That
children.
phrase,
Now this just happened
that
yesterday.
despicable
sort of,
phrase, in the best
So
interest of the
hopefully something will
child,
come of this.
that
And what
monster
was the
Hopefully.
date?
Didn't believe that my family, my own family, could do this to my children.
That's very
See?
common, though. You know that, Esther, many times the sexual abuser is a member of the family.
Yeah.
It's a very sad thing, and you're right. It's hard to believe. But go
Yeah.
on with your story, please.
Okay, my children, they told me little by little, the members of the family who were abused. First, they told me my nephew, who is 11 years old. And he was, my children says that my nephew put videos, pornography to them. And then in my brother's room, apartment, on the first floor. And then they are accusing me that I put pornography to my children too. And then one time I saw a lot of videos that my children has at home, but they are not pornography. I found one pornography on the top of my children's videos. And then I said, who's this pornography? And nobody answered, nobody tell me nothing. When I asked my husband, who's this pornography, he told me, I found it on my job. And then I brought at home. But why did he put that video pornography on the top of the children's video?
Yes, yes.
I think it's on purpose.
Oh, of
because
course.
I don't know why.
Yes. So the
And
agency just...
they are accusing me that
And
I put the video to my children's too.
Yes, and you
I
also
didn't
told
know
me that your children are now that they've been ripped away from their loving mother, that now they're suffering mental damages. And did you tell me that they're claiming that you are the reason that they're suffering mental damage?
Yeah, they told me because they have, they said they are confused. They are confused children and they have bad dreams and they go very bad in the school now because I think it's affected by twice because first he were sexual abuse and then they took away from me.
Of course.
They were affected more.
I think the American public knows that if you take children away from their home and you turn them into orphans, just as the Nazis did,
Yeah.
and the communists did, of course you're going to mentally affect these children. Of course they're going to have nightmares. It was really nice talking to you, Esther.
Yeah, and the worst thing is the father is one to the custody of the children.
What?
And now,
What?
yeah, and
They
now
gave the sexual abuser custody?
yeah, they have, and then
And what is his
they
name?
cut my his name is Joel Tobar.
Oh,
You see, the worst problem
where
is
does he
that
live?
I think he lives in Queens, but I don't know the exact address.
The neighbors
But
should know this. I'm glad
Yeah.
you're going to be on television because
Yeah, you
the
see-
neighbors should be watching those children.
Yeah, you see what? Now I cannot visit my children, but he is allowed to visit my children. You
Oh,
see?
this is
And he
horrible.
wants the custody. And the judge said, okay, you can go and let's see
What is the
happens.
judge's name?
Berman.
Judge
Mr.
Berman? From
the family court in Queens.
Okay, thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Okay, you're
Capital.
I'll certainly try to do it without crying this time.